So come take invest to talk about investing, finance, and professional run. For today's terms only, the investment I'm going to talk today will be Ethereum. First, want to say happy Sunday, everybody, for a great weekend so far. Respect to recording time of 7:47 a.m. on the Eastern Time, Ethereum current trade $3,411, up about 0.12% so far. Respect to overall crypto market is relatively green today. It has been collecting some news this morning ever since I woke up at 6:30 again for no particular reason. I just naturally wake up that way. I went to bed relatively early last night as well. As you saw my posting from last night, I was very tired. I spent the whole day with my parents. Just went out shopping. Got dinner at a Lower East Side, New York City. Went to this new restaurant, new Japanese restaurant called BBF, which was relatively good. It's like a new kind of like a fusion of Japanese cuisine with some Spanish influence at the same time. So it was like a relatively interesting one. Really loved their fish and chips, but instead of like using traditional like tilapia or flounder as their fish, they use eel or unagi, if you guys know what I'm talking about. And they fry the eel with the fries with like some seaweed seasoning, and also we had a lot of sushi platter, and also we had like a scallop salad with grapefruit and some accoutrement on the side. So it was relatively a flavorful yet very diversified taste, if you may. It was good. It was decent, not bad. I'll definitely give it a try. It's a new restaurant that opened up for like about a month ago. So anyways, we're not talking about food right now. We're talking about Ethereum. So let's go right into it. So with respect to the news on CNBC about 12 hours ago, talk about Ethereum had a rough September. And here's why and how it's being fixed. So this is basically talk about the rebound that we've experienced so far ever since the pop of the balloon. And basically, if you look at the chart in front of us, we're at the $4,028, and we were try to reach all-time high, right? The all-time high is technically 4,400, but as you saw from the technical, we could not get there. And subsequently, because of the FOMC news, and because of the China crackdown, because of Christine Lagarde, and all of these negative media affectation combined on the equity side of the house, the Evergrande news that subsequently tanked the Hong Kong index, the China market, have some direct correlations to the crypto side, which is going to drive the sell-up we've been experiencing so far. It seems that we are slowly reviving right now. So the articles basically talk about what are we expecting going forward, right? And then next one is talk about the financial regulators are finalizing plans to supervise stable coins as crypto oversights take shapes. So this is talking about the crypto bills that Don Byers initializing, and also with respect to Janet Yellen. I would say about 2 months ago, she gathered all the regulators in the financial sector to basically get together in the room to talk about, okay, what are we going to do about cryptocurrencies? It seems like it's outgrowing their compliance and regulatory infrastructure. What is the plan to be doing? So it seems like with Joe Biden as part of the administration as well, obviously, they're going to be collectively working on initializing some structure going forward, right? And I know we see some sort of blueprints with respect to the Don Byers crypto bill now, but they need to obviously go through the congressional and legislative side of the house, and obviously with the with Joe Biden's final sign off as well, right? Well, at the same time, they try to pass the infrastructure bill, so there's a lot of moving pieces that they're trying to do, coincidentally. So we have to watch to see, but we heard from the confirmatory signal from Jerome himself already on Thursday night or Friday morning, depending on where you are. He did say that he has no intentions of banning crypto at all. So I guess in the big question mark, right? I think we got that solved. But in terms of what is to do on a tactical perspective, that's something we look forward to, and I think it's going to be positive news going forward because and it could be a form of like taxation, it could be a form of commission fee structure, etc., among the exchange versus the people that transact, versus the customers that uses the cryptocurrencies. So we'll see how that will be shaking out. But I think it's good because we need to have some privacy protection. We need to have some sort of anti-fraud type of system, right? Because we've been getting, there's some people that's been getting hacked, getting scammed transactionally, and I don't want that to happen anymore. And we need the feds, the government, to step up to improve upon that infrastructure on both the regulatory side, but also on the technology side as well, right? And then the next one is talking about, oh my god, so Reuters talked about 1 day ago. Coinbase said hackers stole cryptocurrencies from at least 6,000 customers. So this is another occurrence. We heard that from Binance before about like 6-7 times. Coinbase, I think it's like the 4th time we heard this so far. So as crypto gets a little bit more, not a little bit more, but exponentially more globalized going forward, this is definitely a critical issue. It seems like the security breach, people getting hacked, losing their wallet for no reason, people like losing their password, or getting their account taken over, and then next thing you know they lose like all their money, their life savings in there. It's not something we appreciate. Absolutely not. It's these are people's hard-earned money, right? The last thing I want that to for us to experience would be that, right? We invest. It is an interesting game, but to lose your shit, it's just frankly not something we appreciate at all, right? And then the next one is talking about with respect to Cointelegraph, and the article is basically talking about 3 factors that can send Ethereum price to 100% gains in Q4. And this is basically something we've been talking about, but they just quantitatively list out 3 factors. And 3 factors are basically something we've been regurgitating for a while now, right? With respect to the inflationary pressure, how that anti-correlates with the the market correlations between equity versus crypto, but also at the same time, as the US dollar appreciates, that can also drive some sell-off across the crypto assets, more specifically and more prominent in crypto, and also will have that correlation effects in equity as well. And also with respect to the other factor would be the cup and handle, which we are noticing, but this is something we have to be mindful of. Is this more of a head and shoulder, or is this more of a cup and handle? I don't think this is something that is fully confirmed yet, but it looks like there is a cup, but we are also showing a head and shoulder pattern. Also at the same time, the technical is screaming that we're overbought. So in terms of the surge, 100% from here, possible, but is that likely? That's something we have to keep an eye out on, right? And then the last factor that they talk about is with respect to, obviously, the China crackdown, right? The supply is basically being squeezed or marginalized because the 10,000 mines are being shut down in China mandatorily, and we don't have a confirmed dates as to when they're going to release it back. China is definitely it's going to take some time for them to get to the senses, or come to the senses, if you may. And something that just we have to watch what they're doing. It's something that they are a communist country, and the government is relatively political for obvious reasons. So that's one reason, but also with respect to London hard fork, the burn rates with respect to Ethereum 2.0, it's outpacing with respect to the cultivations, right? So that can also drive some supply imbalance at the same time, which should technically drive some surge pressure. So 100% is speculative based on what they're saying here, but I don't know how substantive that is. But something we'll keep an eye out on, to see if this is real, by looking at the technicals, because the technicals never lies to us. And then that's pretty much it on the news front. I think the news reporters are probably taking a nap right now. especially on the US side Sunday, so I get it. But some people are, on Cointelegraph and Bazinga are, they're always like relatively hardworking. I realize on the weekend, especially in the morning right now. So with respect to Ethereum, as of recording of 7:57 a.m. on the Eastern time, current trade $3,412. So it seems like we're still having a golden cross. We have no signs of curving down yet. So this is definitely a bullish signal, and the next level that we have to go to would be 3,475. We have to crack that to get to the next level. If we crack and stay within the middle, we won't be able to sustain because we have a large leap up to get there, and that's technically how much, like basically $400 of leap up, right? So we have already seen a lot of positive news. So something that we have to be cautious about is like, is this gonna be sustainable, and can we leap up to the next $400 when we know that it's 57 out of 70? So we're not completely oversold, overbought, but we're not like at the perfect level either. You know what I'm trying to say? So to stay within the frame of reference, I think 3,150 is still the play, right? 2,750, 2,450. 2,450 could be a stretch, right? But if the market cycle continues, right, despite what they're saying about cup and handle and the supply squeeze, right, the whales are ultimately going to be in the, we are at the mercies of the whale, right? They have the most market supply power that if they want to dump us, they could dump us, right? And I think they are incentivized to dump us if we see some sort of a leap, up to in the mid-level that the market, is mainly driven by the public investors FOMOing in. They will be more than happy to sell off down here to get us back to the 3,000 again. So Bitcoin, we are surging up right now. This is a cup, and we are at the 60 out of 70. And we are extremely stretched up right now. So the next leap up is technically another a lot. We have a lot to go up to. So we have to go all the way to the $53,000. So technically that's another $5,000 of leap up. Do we see another $5,000 leap up from here when we have no platform of substantiveness at the current level, in the mid-level? Like the next level that we would test a little bit will obviously be the 50, but the real level that we have to go to would be the 53. So we have to see. Sorry, that's my alarm. I was supposed to wake up at 8, but I don't know why I woke up at 6. So I guess my alarm don't work technically. Anyways, so right now we're still at the overbought level, so I think I would be cautious and just wait until the level that we have had seen before at the 43. Don't feel like you're fear of missing out. This is not the logical reason. I think this will be relatively short-lived because these technicals cancels out each other. So with Dogecoin, so we are a little bit more bullish in comparisons to the other two with the 46 out of 70. We are forming a golden cross. And with respect to the dip was basically at 1998 and the 20 cents, right? So 22, we up about like 1%. Dogecoin is a relatively good setup because we are still going to be leaping up a little bit based on the setup right now. We still have some room to grow up to. Cardano, I would say comparable. We still have some room to grow up to. We just formed a golden cross as of last night. We had the 49 or the 50 out of 70, so not perfect. But I think the next level technical leap up should technically get us to the $2.40 based on the setup that we see in front of us. Solana, we're still surging again, right? We just formed a golden cross, so we are at the 62. So I think the next leap up, because of the fact that we just formed the golden cross, should technically be the 200 or before the 200 to get us to the 195. XRP, we are still, relatively bullish with the 53 out of 70. We just crossed recently again. So I think the next leap up will be the $1.10 from here as well. So with respect to the market cycle, we are within the unobvious anger stage and the depression stage. And you see that as we hit that bottoms, and then we will see some rally basically to manipulate us. And you could call that maybe a cup and handle, if you may, right? Or a fit cup and handle. And you see some sort of a head and shoulder as well. Is a reason why the artist drew it like this, right? So we have to be mindful of that. In a macro perspective, where are we right now? And a micro perspective, where are we within the chart that we're seeing in the macro chart right now? Right? And to stay within the frame of reference is to stay within the logical frame of reference to dollar cost average at, right? 3,150, 2,070, 2,450. But if you bought in the $4,000 like a while back, just hold for a long term, like I keep saying over and over again, because long term games is always the best game, right? And I believe, based on, again, my buddies at JP Morgan, he said that Ethereum should technically be 300K in the next 5 to 7 years, or 3 to 5 years. I don't know what he's saying, but I need to look at the model that he has, and I need him to like explain to me how he got there for me to have some understanding, because right now he just like dropped a big number, but without any like substantive like backup for me to understand how he got there, right? So I'll do some digging, do some investigations for you guys. So I'm actually going to head up to the gym now. Really appreciate you for dropping by, and have a good rest of the day. And if it's morning on Monday already for you guys, have a good rest of the week coming up. Take care.